that knows about what you are doing, and you have all these specialized agents, like your assistant hiring data scientists to do stuff.
Yeah. So, folks, definitely check it out. And our next guest is already here. I'm so excited. Steph, thank you so much for coming. We do need you to sit closer to the mic, so folks will arrange this for you. And you should feel comfortable.
Perfect. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I got a coffee. And yeah, I'm so happy to meet you in person again. Does it work?
Hold on. Yes. Let's do a white chat. Let's keep it on white, okay? And then when she talks, let's do it. Stefania Druga.
Yes.
You've been on the pod maybe in audio form. I don't remember if we put you ever on video.
No.
So welcome to the video edition of ThursdAI. This is a bit different from the last time you were on.
Different.
And we're having a lot of fun.
Yes.
And we're also, AI engineering is different. We've met the AI engineers previously. You just been to the recent one in Singapore as well. And we've had you on the pod, and we've talked to you about education for children and bots and stuff like that. And since then, you're no longer a research scientist at DeepMind. You are now with Sakana.
I'm with Sakana.
And when we covered Sakana AI multiple times, and we talked about David, and we talked about Leon.
Yep.
Yeah, Leon James, the co-transformer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look there when you answer, and I'm sorry it's not comfortable, but it's okay. Live show. So we talked about Sakana, we talked about multiple models, and last week or 2 weeks ago or last week, last week, time moves so fast. A lot has happened since last week. We talked about Fugu.
Yes.
And Wolfram was not able to pronounce it, so it sounded like we're doing superlatives on air. And we talked about Fugu, and then it clicked here that you're working at Sakana. We have a friend in the lab that shipped this, and I was like, we should have Steph. But because you're based in Japan, it wasn't super practical, and now you're here, and I'm super excited. Thank you so much for coming. What is Fugu?
Thanks for having me. It's so nice to see you both. Fugu is a new router model which we released last week.
Yeah.
But I'm going to announce new things today just for the pod. So it's a router model that allows you to basically pick the best model for the job that you're doing. So it's an orchestrator, and it has very, very good performance. So we tested it on all sorts of benchmarks. People actually build incredible demos with it. Like we had auto research running with Fugu and discovering new optimization for GPU implementation. We had Rubik cube solving. I used it a lot for robots, like controlling robots.
Nice.
And I'm having a lot of fun. People are having a lot of fun with Fugu. You can use it now in OpenRouter, like we integrate with Vercel. And we actually just announced today that it's available in Codex and also OpenCode.
Yeah.
So basically, anywhere you work, you can try it out. And I want to talk a little bit about the technology behind it.
Yes, please. Remember that our audience is technical. We love a deep dive. We asked Sarah about pruning models and how fast they stay. So
Perfect. Yeah. So there's 2 papers that Fugu is based on, and these are published at ICLR this year, and people can go and check them out. So there's a paper on Trinity, which is like a very lightweight model that is learning how to orchestrate between a thinker, a verifier, and an action model. And it's actually an evolutionary model. So if you are into evolutionary models and want to learn more about the Trinity Conductor piece, you should read that paper. And then there's the conductor paper from ICLR, which is basically trained on rollouts from how do you actually look at workflows, so you know which model you're going to call for a different part of a workflow.
Yeah.
And that one was trained through reinforcement learning. But both of these papers are available. People can read it. They were peer reviewed.
Yeah.
And then Fugu combines the two. So it actually combines the Trinity part to learn how to orchestrate, and basically it's not just learning who to send a task for, but it's recursive. So it can rewrite the prompt, it can verify the outputs before deciding I'm going to use this model or this other model.
Yeah.
And the philosophy behind all of this work, I don't know if you knew, but Sakana means fish in Japanese.
Yeah.
And the whole vision for the company was very much built on collaboration, open-endedness,
evolution
models. So I think that's quite unique. And that's also the approach for Fugu. The idea is that there isn't one model to win it all, but that you can actually get much better performance by picking which model is good for what task and orchestrating that.
So we're excited about Fugu. We're excited about model routers. It's very funny. Just the week before Fugu, OpenRouter released a router,
Right.
which I
yes.
found it hilarious.
Yeah,
And we
the
thought,
timing. The
remember
timing
name?
was funny.
Carbon something.
Yeah, mixture of agents.
Mixture of agents, and the timing was great. And then they're like, "Oh, there's more routers. Let's add you to the thing." And have you been working with Fugu then in your harnesses? Like, how does that apply in your work, like process? When do you plug in Fugu?
Yeah, we actually use it for many of the research projects that I'm working on right
Yeah.
now. So I'm part of the RSI lab at
Yeah.
Sakana. It's like recursive self-improvement systems. So a lot of that is like in the future of auto research and future of research assistance. So
Yeah.
of course we use Fugu as part of it. There's a project that I'm leading on AI for science, like predicting typhoons and predicting El Nino
Ooh,
phenomena.
okay.
So for physics, like we actually know that the current models, including like existing world models, are not always very good, especially when you have very chaotic events. So we found that Fugu helped a lot in knowing when to distribute the task for a numerical model versus a more like fuzzy logic and web search. And we had best results with Fugu for that work on typhoon prevention. And actually, that demo is included in one of the demos on the public repo.
Oh, that's super cool. Steph, I have a bunch of questions for you.
Yeah.
So we talked about Fugu.
Yeah.
You represented Sakana, great. You're working with legends, right? You're working with Leon. You're working with David. You're working in Japan, way outside of the SF bubble, and then you're landing in AI engineer, and kind of like you feel kind of the vibes here, etc. Tell me about like how that's going. Like, how is it working over there? How is it working? How do people on the street treat AI? Like, it's very interesting to us because like we are kind of in a bubble. Denver's not that much of a bubble, but just give me your insight into like how is it working over there and how do people treat AI in Japan? I would love to know more details from just Steph the person and not just Steph the scientist.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for asking that question.
Of course.
So I moved to Japan a year ago, a year and a half, and it's been like I love it. I love.
And also, it's getting louder in here. If you
so I'm
could
gonna
try
have to speak up.
Yes,
Okay.
directly and
Oh,
louder. Yes.
perfect. Yeah. So I moved to Japan a year and a half ago. People in Japan love AI. They love technology. They have a very hopeful and positive outlook towards technology. And I think that's very nice. And I know David, one of the reasons he wanted to build Sakana in Japan is because of this more positive outlook towards technology and try to build it in a way that it benefits community.
David is David Ha, and his nickname on Twitter is Hardmaru.
Yes.
And he's like a very known, very celeb like type of scientist, like and also hot takes.
Yes.
I love David's hot takes. Yeah, so please go ahead.
Yeah, so David Ha picked Japan for this, and it's also like a really big focus on sovereign AI. So I love being outside of the circle here, although I used to live here, because I think it's important for different countries and different communities around the world to have their own solutions,
Yes.
to take their own stab at like pushing the frontier research beyond the transformers. And you know, it's funny because Cleon, who's our CTO, Cleon Jones, was part of the Attention is All You Need.
Yes.
But now he's like the biggest proponent for like, we need new architectures, we need new algorithms beyond the transformer.
Yeah.
So that's also like we have both of those, like practical solutions like Fugu for how do we do a better job with current workflows in more sustainable ways, but also forward looking, pushing the frontier, like what comes after the transformer.
Yeah.
So I'm having a lot of fun, and you know, it's Japanese is a hard language, so it's a good challenge for my brain to try to learn it.
How well versed are you in Japanese at this point?
少し話します。わかりますも?
I did not understand any of that. Steph, let's talk about AI Engineer as a conference, okay? We're here. We met, I believe, also at the AI Engineer.
At the first edition.
At the first one, which is like significantly a different beast than it is right now.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the hallway track, the people that you meet here. What do you talk about with them? What is the concern? What is kind of the active process of what's going on?
Yeah, so I was very happy to see more work on local models. My talk yesterday actually was about memory for long horizon tasks on local models, but there were several, and I know you had people on the pod this morning.
Oh yeah, we had all of the local.ai folks
coming. Yeah. Nice. So I'm very excited to see that now we can have DeepSeek V4 Flash that we can run on a Mac M3 Ultra. It seems like the bottleneck is access to hardware, actually.
Yeah.
But hopefully that will get solved. I know there was some discussion about hardware access as well, or just in general hardware.
Yes.
But yeah, like local models were big. Memory seems to be like just starting. Like there's so much to learn because basically this is the insight. Like the type of tasks we're able to tackle now with agentic AI are only becoming longer and longer horizon. So then you start to get like the context rut and the context drift. So having better memory systems that are open source is going to be crucial. And the memory track for me was like super interesting. And I loved learning from that as well. Yeah, what else? Many more like non sequitur, but I was so happy to see many more women.
Yes.
I was surprised because
I'm happy to see more women on the ThursdAI panel. So thank you for thank you for breaking this pattern for us, Steph. I really appreciate it.
Happy to will always come back, but
Yes.
in general, like it's been, and also people from outside the field. Like I met people who are working in recycling business
Yeah.
and coming to learn how to use AI to optimize like their efforts. So all sorts of like robotics, local models, memory, reconnecting with all friends, like and making new friends. I haven't slept much in the past 3 days because I'm super jet lagged and I was running my experiments on my local machine in Japan. And but you know, like you said, I think Wolfram, like we live on tokens and coffee. Or what was your quote?
Yeah, tokens are the new caffeine for
Tokens
us.
are the new caffeine. Yeah, smart tokens.
Yesterday was a big day in AI because Fable's back.
Yes. Have you played with it?
Oh,
You used it for this.
I used it for this. I used it for. I'm probably gonna use it for the post show notes. I use it for the research for the show. In addition to this, are you a big Fable fan? What's your kind of like go to right now? And I know like Fugu is also using like production stuff as well. Does it route to Fable already? Can you tell us about like your experience with Frontier, where you are and what do you use?
I got to test it a little bit when it was launched, but then of course I lost access.
Yoinked away by the U.S. government and given back by the U.S. government. Thank you.
I think for me, it really reemphasized the need of sovereign AI because it feels like so disempowering, right? Like to get access to a powerful model, want to try the capabilities, and then like all of a sudden it goes away. Or like you talked about like the weights being modified behind the scenes, and I really do not like that. I am running some evaluations on it right now. I don't have the results yet, but yeah, in general, like I'm a little bit disappointed by the fact that it blocks like AI questions and AI research because that would be my primary goal for using it.
Yes.
So
at least it blocks now. When they released it, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make the model dumber without telling you about this."
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? No.
So there's a joke that like if it answers your question about research, that means your research is bad. So
but it set a bad precedent.
It's not frontier enough.
It's a terrible precedent. And I actually think the direction is to have router models that you were mentioning, like you want your family. I want my family to start using these things in a safe way. And I think the future is to have a router model that can decide like what stays on device and what goes to the cloud and which cloud, and being able to control that better.
Yeah.
So I didn't answer your Fable question, but like
you're using it and you're testing it.
I'm testing it.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Alrighty. I think the cool thing about Sakana is kind of like you guys out of the distribution and also trying like new like algorithms approaches. Anything we should look out for?
Yes.
Okay. What should we look out for?
Check out the work from my colleague Jeff Seeley on sheaves. So the insight there is.
Can you spell that, sheaves?
SHEEF.
Sheaves.
Sheaf.
Oh, okay. I never heard that term. Please educate me.
So it's more like thinking about deep neural networks in geometric terms and understanding the geometry. And you want to like work with an architecture where you can synchronize like the local information and the global information in real time. And that's what sheaves allows you to do. And he published a couple of papers on this. There's more coming.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very promising direction. Like the insight is like, how can you create systems where you more readily update your global information from the local updates in a verifiable way?
Yeah. I have a follow up for you that's unrelated to your last question. I just remembered. Last time we talked about AI in education.
Yes.
And
I have a lot of, yes.
And we're moving in an insane pace here.
Yes.
And I don't know if you participated or saw the AI engineer for the first time had the kids thing just before the conference.
Yeah.
And obviously, kids are incredibly important to bring into this world of AI. So, would love your thoughts on where we are, how kids are using. Should they have access to smaller models or bigger? I literally have no idea. Besides the fact that my kids know that I'm in AI,
Yeah.
and sometimes in the car we talk with like ChatGPT. They don't like Grok, by the way. They
Yes.
prefer ChatGPT.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. I have no idea why. Talk to me about like how you see AI education right now. Like, where should we look at? Should there be a track for AI education next year?
Yes, please.
yeah.
Swix, if you're listening.
Swix is gonna come and like, I'll if you want the message, we'll write it down here. And like, hey, Swix,
We need a track.
Yes.
Yes. I know the AI for kids, AI engineering for kids this year was very successful. I'm so happy that folks organized that. I was stuck in immigration. I couldn't make it in time.
Oh, no way.
But I made it. So where it's going, I think there's like definitely a need for more Socratic AI tools for youngsters, because as we know, even for experts, like we talked a lot this year about, do you still read the code or not? Who's on the hook for being responsible for what gets shipped?
Yeah.
How do we all fight like the brain rot, right? Like, because it's so easy to delegate tasks now. What do you choose to still like learn and truly understand? That's much harder to do for young people because they don't know what they don't know.
They don't have the alternative.
They don't
we
have-
we grew
yeah.
up before internet.
Right.
Not to age us.
You totally.
Yes.
So I think it's like for young people having Socratic tools that don't give them, like, we don't want answer machines for kids.
Yeah.
We actually want like a powerful like buddy that they can learn with and play with. So it needs to be Socratic, and that's why I built like a Socratic Copilot for Scratch.
Yeah.
He never does the code for them. We just ask them questions,
Yeah.
helps them get unstuck. And I know, Nielsen, I promised you a repo link, so I will definitely share that. I was holding off because I was hoping Scratch itself, like I was part of a Scratch team at MIT, would launch something like
Yeah.
this. It's not out yet. So I'm just going to open source what I built.
Please do. I gave my kid
yeah.
recently Brilliant.org launched like an education platform.
Yes.
And they have Kibo or whatever, Tiba. I don't remember, folks. They didn't pay me enough. They didn't pay me anything.
Yeah.
Nobody pays me anything besides Corwin. To give my kid like to try it out. And like that AI agent does not give the answer. So we AI engineers, I think it's a very important difference. We as AI engineers and talking billionaires, we want like I don't care. Don't teach me code. Yeah, don't teach me code. Send me a pull request of showing me how this actually works. I don't care about your process, whatever. For the kids learning, it's a completely different thing.
Exactly.
They need to learn. They don't need to be given answers. If they're given answers, they're gonna be lazy as fuck. So I think the Socratic method is incredible, and I think generally the work you do. I'm very happy that we have a friend in Japan in the labs working and telling us about this. Next time, I definitely need to reach out and we'll figure out sometime stuff because your voice is very important on the ThursdAI panel. I would love to have more of you here.
I will wake up in the middle of the night from Tokyo.
Yes.
And hope you come to AI engineering in Tokyo.
I hear
someone told me that might come soon.
Mr. Swix, who's going to join here very soon, is going to be on the hook of answering of all of the next AI engineers, including the one that's proposed to be in Japan. Well, obviously, we'll cover that once we get there. Steph, I talked about the gradient between people who still read code and very important code, and on the other end, talking billionaires that just cannot afford to read all of it, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of talked about it's not. Wait, no, we have more. Okay, I'll come talk to you in a second. Okay. And then we talked about where people are on the spectrum, and then basically I talked to my talk to like it's a fake. It's not really where people are based on tasks. Still, though, in the age of AI in 2026, and maybe looking forward, I would love to hear like a forward prediction. Do you still read outputs in code? Do you still think it's important? And how will it change with like Fable and Fugu 2, let's say?
Yeah, I listened to a podcast, so I was thinking about this question.
Yeah.
I definitely think those two are not mutually exclusive, and it definitely depends on the workflow. I still read code for critical, like mission critical projects, but there are aspects of my work that I delegate where I don't look at it. And I know, Wolfram, we talked yesterday about how to use like agents in pick your favorite open source or non-open source like messaging app. And I've been a really big fan of the Codex app since like it's open source, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
And then also I can hack it and add things on top of it. Same with Pi. So I think the part that is interesting is how much the interface that we're using will change what we delegate and what we don't delegate. But we definitely need better tools for visualizing the differences, because in GitHub we had GitHub diff, right?
Yeah.
But you cannot apply GitHub diff when you are looking at thousands of files. So what's going to be the next level of abstraction for verifying the outputs or inspecting the outputs or having maybe like a summary of core concepts or core decisions
Yeah.
and keeping track of that? Like, I haven't seen anything in that space yet, and I think that's going to be the next step towards having better like human in the loop, better verification, and yeah, like not delegating or reading everything. Like we need something in between.
Yep. Attention is still very much required.
Yes.
I think the attention is only needed is just like a very pernicious title for humans.
Attention economy. Yes.
For humans going
Yes.
forward.
Yeah. Thank
Stefania
you.
Druga, thank you so much for coming
Thank
up.
you.
It's always a pleasure to have you here in video form and going up. We have a next guest coming, and you're going to talk as well. So good luck.
Thank
you so much for coming.
See you.
Thank you. See you soon. All right. Next up, we have Philip Schmidt, and I'll let Wolfram take this one. Okay, sit here. Let's move you like kind of here. You're gonna sit here. Let's just make sure that, and then you're gonna talk to this mic very close. Okay. You can move this mic. Wolfram, you're here. And folks, I will be right back after this interview.
Okay.
So, taking over for Alex here. Hi, Philip.